welcome to Power Review, where today I'll be going over SteamWorld Dig. Let's get started. As many of you know, there's been tons of great games on the 3DS's Eshop. Push Mode, Debamen, Mutant Muds, and now we've got our next must-buy title, SteamWorld Dig. If I could give you an idea of what this game is, imagine a platformer with the wall jumping from Mega Man X, the power-ups from Metroid, and the digging from Terraria. But honestly, even that doesn't do the game justice. So you play as a robot named Rusty, who recently got the claim for his uncle's mine. Only problem? He kinda, well, died. So now that you own the dead robot's place, you dig deeper to try to figure out what your uncle was up to. Though I still don't understand how robots have uncles. Now I'll admit, the start of this game is a little slow. You pick around the mine, find a few minerals, and give them back to your old pal Dorothy for some cash. But once you mess around and start discovering more things, the game really gets going. Once you get enough money, you can start buying various upgrades and items, which will help you dig through the mines and defeat enemies easier. And this freedom is exactly what makes SteamWorld Dig so freaking good. You literally make your own course in a platforming game with the seemingly endless mine your uncle gave you. And of course, making sure you can still make it to the surface. Otherwise, you'll have to make the fateful decision to self-destruct and lose half your cash and all your inventory, or dig deeper until you find a teleporter back to the surface. To make things more complicated, you also have 3 things you have to watch as you progress in the mine: health, water, and fire. Now I don't really need to explain health, but water is the source of a lot of powers you'll eventually obtain, and fire lights your way in the mine for a limited time frame. To replenish these, you either have to beat enemies or conserve your resources better through tons of useful upgrades you buy at the shop. But once you get the hang of it, you start getting into why you're digging in the first place, finding the secrets hidden in the mine, which is done through completing levels concealed underground. Each level is meant to serve as a test of sorts, using everything you've learned thus far, and when you make it all the way through, you obtain those powers I was talking about earlier. But without giving too much away, they're extremely useful and make you enjoy the levels way more than you did before. Now this, unfortunately, brings me to my biggest complaint of the game. It ends too soon. Just when you think the game has hit its stride and you get used to all the powers, it abruptly ends with the only boss fight in the game. But ironically, this is also the game's biggest strength. You see, when you beat the game, you're scored and given medals on various aspects of your performance, so you're encouraged to play the game again to go for the gold. Now, I've only beat the game once so far, but my guess is the better you do, the better ending you get. And the best part, are you ready for this, is that the Mind is randomized with every playthrough. That's right, aside from the main levels, no 2 playthroughs are the same, and you have to rethink all your strategies. And don't think everything will just be restored when you leave the mine. Every change you make in the world is permanent, so like an actual mine, you really gotta work with what you got. I've heard of people who beat the game in 4 hours, and others in 15. It really depends on your own pace and how hard you make the game for yourself. Add the fact that the graphics are beautifully made, with gorgeous hand-drawn sprites and backgrounds, as well as a good atmospheric soundtrack for each world, and you got a game completely worth $9. Just be sure to buy it so we get a sequel, okay? Okay? Alright. SteamWorld Dig gets a Check Plus and an Awesome. Now I'm just gonna be blunt with you here, this should be in every 3DS owner's library. Seriously, if I didn't tell you, you guys would think this is a first-party Nintendo game. So get that wallet out, get yourself a points card, and have yourself a good time. So broke. What the? It's actually money in here? I haven't used this since I was 8. It's gross!